All right. Hi. I'm going to explain the Should We Have Saturday School lesson number one. And so, just so we're clear, there's two parts of this lesson, and there's the lesson one and there's the lesson two. And they're both kind of based on the same theme. And so, I'm going to read that theme for you in just a minute here. But um, basically, this section of the digital literacy unit is really about making sure that we're evaluating online sources accurately and that we're not sharing things, that we're not believing things that may not be truthful or may not be totally backed up. So I want you to imagine that our school is thinking about starting a new policy, and that policy is mandatory Saturday school for everyone. That means that all students will go to school Monday through Saturday. Sunday would be our only day off of school. And the school board wants to hear from students about their opinion on the proposed policy. When you share your opinion with the school board, you want to make sure that you have that your sources and your evidence, and you have sources and evidence to support it. And that's what we're going to work on today. So as you take a look at this, you want to think about what kind of sources could we use to help us answer the questions of whether there should be mandatory Saturday school. So as you scroll down, you're going to see one assignment. So there are three different sources that you're going to be taking that will be split between the class. So you are either going to be assigned source A, source B, or source C. And when you open it up, you will see an assignment. That assignment is going to show you the source. So for example, this is source A, and it gives you information. Here's the source here, and then you are going to answer the four questions related to source A. Make sure you're writing in full sentences and fully explaining your answers. Then, after you've completed the assignment, you are going to go to these source A, B, and C discussions. You do need to do all of them, but I'm going to show you really quickly. So all of them say something like this. If you looked at source A, please respond to the question in this discussion post. Once you will respond, you will see some information that you should read through about the source. So if you did source A, you respond to the question. And the question is, do you think this source is reliable? Why or why not? And so that's your question, and you're going to post it down here. If you did not look at source A, you're going to look at it now. And in the discussion post, you are going to just type the word no in the comments, and then you'll be able to see information about the source. So down here, this will appear, my analysis or this teacher analysis will appear about this source once you have posted. But then you're going to read through it and you're going to kind of see how a teacher or how someone who has a lot of training in this would think about this source. So you're going to do that for source A, B, and C. So you're only going to respond to the question about the one that you read about, but you're going to say no to the two other ones. So if I did source B, for example, I would respond to the question in the source B discussion, but I would type in no for source A discussion and source C discussion, and then I would read about that source. Then you're going to have a final discussion. The questions are here. Even though we read three different sources, we're similar about our evaluations of them, so on and so forth. So you're going to need those discussions. So basically, you're sharing with each other your evaluation of those sources. You're going to need to answer that. And then there's some other questions here. And then there's some final thoughts. So that is going to be lesson one. I'm also going to share with you right now lesson two. So I am going to go out of this folder, hopefully, and I'm going to show you lesson two. So lesson two is the same premise. So Saturday school. Today we're going to look at evidence that we could present to a school board. So once again, you're going to get assigned a source A, B, or C that is really focused on analyzing the evidence found in that source. So you are going to you're gonna do your source. Then you're gonna open up this page, and you're gonna review this after completing your source. It shows you all three sources here, and it shows you a kind of a teacher's or an expert's analysis of that source. Basically, think about was your analysis correct? Was it similar to what you're reading here? And then going back, there's one final discussion post, and the final question is, based on these questions and the previous page, what source do you think was the most trustworthy and why? So you should go back and take a look at this review after completing. This has all of the sources, and you should read through them, and you should determine which one you thought was the most reliable. So let's say you read source A, you might think that source B was the most reliable, or you might think that your own source A, is the most reliable, and you're going to respond to that question. So hopefully this is all making sense. Once again, 9 a.m. to 9:30 are my office hours. Let me know if you have any questions.